In the last video, we looked at 3 digits or 3-figure bearing. In this video, we are still going to be continuing with it. But what I would like to do in this video is to give you another way the question can be asked and how you can go about answering the question. Is that okay? So let's take examples. Now let's look at this example and let's take these 3 questions first. We have stated the 3 digits bearing in the diagrams below. Now remember, there are 2 rules for us to be able to get the 3 digits bearing. The first is that we start from the knots. The second is that it must be clockwise. I hope you remember. So we can try to name the direction even before we start. We have north, we have south, we have east, and then we have west. Now remember, we are starting from the north, and then we have to draw it clockwisely till we get to the line we were asked to find. And so for this one, this angle is 40 degrees. But because we are doing 3 digits bearing, the answer would be 040 degrees. I hope you understand. So don't forget, start from the north and then draw the angle till you get to the line in which you were asked to find the bearing. And so this angle here is the same thing as 40 degrees. And so we write 040 degrees. Does that make sense? Let's do B. Now don't forget, we give the direction first. South, east, and west. Now the first rule starts from the north and move clockwisely. So this is the north, we move clockwisely till we get to the line that was given. Now we are trying to find this angle. Now we know that from this place, from north to east, will give us 90 degrees. Now we need to find from this place to this place. Does that make sense? Now if from here to here is 50, it means that to get this angle here, we just do 90 minus 50. And 90 minus 50 is 40. So we have 90 plus 40. 90 plus 40 will give us 130. So our answer is 130 degrees. I hope you understand. So don't forget, start from the north, move clockwisely till you get to the line in which you're trying to find the bearing. Does that make sense? So A and B are just like revision of what we did in the last video. I would like to introduce you to C, which is what I really want to teach you in this video. Now if you look at this, we're not given the complete direction. So you can just kind of complete it so that you can really see what's happening here. So look at what I'm going to do. So I try to complete this. And then I complete it. Does this make sense now? So if you look, it's just similar to what we did in A. C is similar to A. Does that make sense? So can we find the 3 digits bearing now? Move from the north till you get to the line in which you are asked to find the bearing of. So we are trying to find this angle. This angle is equals to 18 degrees. So we have answer equals to 018 degrees. Does this make sense? Now don't forget, you don't write 18 degrees. You put 0 because it's 3 digits bearing. Can we take other examples? So we've got 3 more questions. State the 3 digits bearing in the diagrams below. Now don't forget, the first thing is to try to complete it so we can have something like this. Does this make sense? Now next, don't forget the 2 rules. First, we start from the north. Second, we are moving clockwisely. So we start from the north and then we are moving clockwisely till we get to the line we are given. Does this make sense? Now if you look carefully, the angle we are trying to find is the same as this angle we are given. So this angle here is 130 degrees. So it means our answer equals to 130 degrees. Do you understand? I hope you do. Now let's go to E. First thing, complete it. So we have, can you see? Now don't forget the rule. Start from the north, then move clockwise till you get to the line in which you are finding the bearing for. So we start from the north and then we move clockwise till we get to the line. Does this make sense? Now we may want to also label the direction. We have east, we have south, and then we have west. So it means that from north to east, 90 degrees, from east to south, 90 degrees, from south to west, 90 degrees. Does this make sense? Now we add them together. 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 plus 90 is 270. So answer equals to 270 degrees. Do you understand? Let's go to F. So remember, first complete the directions. Do you understand? Now second, don't forget the rule. We are starting from the north and then we are moving clockwise till we get to the line in which we are finding the bearing. Does this make sense? Alright, so let's try to find the value of the angle. So we know this place to be east, south, and west. Now if you look carefully, this angle we are trying to find is equal to this angle we are given. Sure? So it means that our answer is 200 degrees. So answer equals to 200 degrees. Do you understand? Let's take the last set of questions. Now we have this last set of questions. State the 3 digits bearing in the diagrams below. Now remember, the first thing, complete. So we have basically this east, this south, and this is west. Now the next thing, don't forget the rule. Start from the north and then move clockwise. So we are starting from the north, moving clockwise till we get to the line we're given. So we are trying to find this angle. Does this make sense? Now, so we know from north to east will give us 90 degrees. From east to south will give us 90 degrees. So the remaining thing for us to find is this small angle here. Can you see? Now I need to show you something so that you can see clearly. Now let me redraw it here. So if I have this and I'm told that from here to here is 170 degrees and I'm trying to find this small angle here. Now look carefully. Remember, from here to here will give us 180 degrees because from north to west is 90 degrees and from west to south is 90 degrees. Do you agree? So if I know from here to here as 180 degrees and I know from here to here as 170 degrees, what will be from here to here? That will be 180 minus 170, which is 10 degrees. So what that means is that this part here is 10 degrees. Do you understand? Let me explain again. Look, we have this. From here to this place is 170 degrees. Now we know that from here to here is 180 degrees because 90 plus 90 will give us 180. We are now trying to find this angle here. That will be 180 minus 170. Does that make sense? Alright. So it then means to get our answer, we just do 90 plus 90 plus 10. 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 plus 10 is 190. So our answer equals to 190 degrees. Do you understand? Now let's take I. Now remember, the first thing to do is to complete this diagram. So we have this. East, south, west. Now the next thing, remember the rule. Move from the north and move clockwise So we move from the north clockwise till we get to the line in which we are trying to find the bearing. Does this make sense? Now look, we know that from north to east is 90 degrees. We know from east to south is 90 degrees. We know from south to west is 90 degrees. Now we are trying to find this angle here. Does that make sense? Now remember, if I have something like this, and I know that this place is 40 degrees, now how do I find this place? I hope you can still remember 90 minus 40. So this place will be 50 degrees. Does that make sense? So we have 50 degrees here. I think I made a mistake here. This should be 90 degrees. Do you understand? So to get the 3 digits bearing for this diagram, we do 90 plus 90, 180. 180 plus 90, 270. 270 plus 50, 320. So our answer equals to 320 degrees. Do you understand? Let's take J. So remember, the first thing you want to complete the diagram. So we go east, south, west. Does this make sense? Now the second thing, remember the rules. Move from the north and move clockwise. So we move from the north clockwise till we get to the line we were given in the question. So we are trying to find this angle here. Does that make sense? North to east is 90 degrees. East to south is 90 degrees. So it means my answer is what? 90 plus 90, which is 180 degrees. Do you understand? Now let's take the last question. Now remember, first thing, complete the diagram. We have east, we have south, we have west. Now the next thing is that move from the north clockwise. So we are going from the north and we are moving clockwise till we get to this line. Does this make sense? Now we know north to east is 90 degrees. We are trying to find this place to this place. So how do we get that? Look, if we have this place as 51 and we are told to find this place, how do you get it? Remember, you just say 90 minus 51. Does that make sense? And this will give you 39 degrees. Do you understand? So this is 39 degrees. It means this small place is 39 degrees. So what that means is that our answer would be 90 plus 39 degrees. Does that make sense? 90 plus 39 will give us 129. So it means our answer equals to 129 degrees. Do you understand? Now in this video, remember, we've learned that the first thing to do is to complete the diagram if you do not have a complete diagram. The second thing, make sure you always follow the rule. Start from the north and move clockwise. I hope you understand.